know, we had one of our instructors, kind of the same incident, Bodak, last year, and you just need to away.
Did underline just what a popular man Nicky was. 35 years old, he's been through this paddock for some time. World champion, kind of word other than praise and love for Nicky Hayden. He was one of those guys that just, to every man, he was everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that was race motorcycles, and you never saw him out at night, you know, partying or carrying on. He was focused, and everybody loved
life as the weekend opens up. Meanwhile, we look at the doctor. And those of you that have been reading the press this crash, if you were listening to the press conference the other day, there were questions about riders and motocross bikes. We'll ignore that for the time being. Here, he's been declared fit, but it's a very short time between, and he had an overnight in hospital. They don't keep you in hospital overnight for no good reason.
It was a pretty big crash, obviously.
And of course, we don't quite know just yet how that is going to injury to go with it. And Mugello, really, this was the one, wasn't it? This is his racetrack. This would be the track that you would expect the Italians.
Like Zarco said in the press conference yesterday, maybe today and tomorrow.
Sam Lowes, we're told they've got an engine upgrade for the Aprilia that's chucking out a lot more horsepower. It's not chucking out much horsepower at the moment. And waiting to see whether Sam's not happy with that, is he? As you wouldn't be. So, engine upgrade from Aprilia. Talking to the motocross thing and Zarco a moment ago, obviously we're looking at his teammate riders available, but hasn't it turned out well?
It's turned out really good, and I'm really happy to see that Bulger signed again, and I'm second on the podium last time out. Could get much better at the moment for them.
I'll go back to the motocross thing. That was Dioso was fiercely in favour of him because he's a very, very good motocrosser. Really, as part of the training, looking for the Nico. His coach has basically advised him against riding motocross bikes because the style of Zarco is much smoother and more considered. Aggression in his riding on the track on a MotoGP bike. Your thoughts on that?
Because I couldn't slow down. I get out there and you see the biggest jumps and glide open through the whoops and gliding around and playing around. I didn't see him at the front. I'd pop a wheelie here and there, but rear wheel on the ground, you got to stay that way.
Were you here for the press conference yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you listen to it? Did you hear cross practice? For the very reasons you've just said. You know, you loved all the jumps and the whoops and all the rest of it, but if you want to stay safe and stay fit,
that's how. I think that's the correct way. You know, we're paid. You know, these guys are paid to do this, not jump.
15 horsepower more apparently in this new motor. Pirro goes top, and the Aprilia sneaks right up alongside the Yamaha. Gone out and straight back in, which it bodes better. I wondered again about that. You know, Valentino wasn't in press briefing as he does sometimes, but normally you'd see him on that front desk for Trentino, not at the press conference. Everyone getting excited about the whole thought of that. Maybe it was PR, maybe it was because he wanted.
Okay, it's not regular flat pace, but
Vinales is behind him.
Yeah, but if you're in that, I would have expected him to be even lower.
Agreed. Pirro's still on top of the foot.
Definitely. You know, Ducati test rider, he's got zillions of them.
This is the track and the passes he's put on people around this Mugello racetrack. Valentino Rossi really has got it worked out here. Now then, here's that up to 41 Alessia Spargo, right up behind the 46 of Valentino Rossi. There with him all the way. Here last year for an engine, if I remember rightly, with Aprilia, and it didn't actually materialise, but we're reliably informed she's riding it really well this year. As well.
He's been riding phenomenal. I mean, he's thrown it down the road a couple of times. Seems to get better through the race. Fuel goes down, tires get maybe a little more feel or whatever it is.
Yeah, towards the end of a race, you've got the bike under you.
You'd rather that than the one-lap flyer for sure.
Nate? What are your thoughts on his year so far, Colin?
Yeah, I mean, some feel, and yesterday I have to say in the press conference, it didn't sound or didn't look that...
Yeah, he left halfway through, it just disappeared. Suddenly the camera panned across and Iannone's gone. And we still haven't found that quiet curtain here in the commentary boxes. Where's Iannone? He just got up and left without a camera shot. He'll be on. You just don't quite know what that bike is that he's riding either, because he's the development man on the development
know that. Who knows what it is. Bits and pieces put together to...
Boy, Lorenzo here at Mugello. It's going to be interesting. We're looking at Marquez at the moment, but did. I mean, the more you hear from Jorge in that situation, the more you're going to like it. Neil has managed to do, and we've got that for BT Sport viewers coming up during the weekend. Hodges' piece, the track, not watching all of this live, then make sure you're recording. Don't go wiping it out before you've watched here. Got the job done, but not quite by the line. Being out dragged by Yamaha out the...
That's a Honda. You know, I mean, when you look through history, okay, maybe it's been happening more. Marquez just got spun up a little bit, didn't get the drive, and Lorenzo was there to pounce.
And Neil actually spoke with Jorge of quite an interesting piece as well. Valentino Rossi holding his chest.
The worst bones to break, I said it, you know, your collarbone. When you break a collarbone, which is up in the upper part, you know, shoulder, chest, you can't go to the restroom properly. It's, everything's tied in up there.
Well, I was teasing him yesterday about how much sponsorship he must be having coming in for the tough, you know, an independent team like that, running 2 rookies this year, you know, massive, your major sponsors.
Yeah.
And that would have been, you know, could have been the end of Tech 3 as we know it.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk. But in there, and things go well, it's really good as well.
Well, Zarco wasn't there. You'd all be ringing the praises of Folger. Folger this year has been really good as a rookie.
Absolutely.
Is at some 220-odd mile an hour is where you want to be getting on the front brake. And if you remember Mark Marquez, when he... But that goes to show you, if you haven't got the weight on the front when you're asking for... And the thing, and if you might explain this better, because I didn't run carbon brakes except in testing.
They're not like steel. You don't just grab a little bit and squeeze harder. The way the carbons work,
and you front end of that motorbike wants to be pointing skywards when you want to be getting the weight on the front to hit the brakes right on the top of the hip.
It's longer to transfer. You know, you don't have those ringlets pushing down, so that time of off throttle.
Jim Tony now is about to reach. Nice conversation with Sylvain and his guy. Frenchman with a Derbyshire accent. Oh, Sam!
Bike, so a little bit of work to do this weekend.
Sam, consistently like this, beautiful. Temperatures are already up. Well, as Valentino is back in his pit box, we look at Mark BT Sport 2 HD and the MotoGP race, if that's the one you really want to watch on its own. But tomorrow, qualifying starts 11 AM, BT Sport 2 HD. Susie Perry in charge. She's on her way here.
Sound like it's screaming.
Quite
normally does.
Yeah, it sounds flat, doesn't it? This onside. Valentino, helmet off in free practice 1. Yeah, he's got that play into that. Pedrosa and he. I think Cow as well. Yeah. Not really got to the bottom of what that actually is doing for them. I mean, in the old days when he's short and exhaust, it's
didn't like when we were teammates, didn't like the short exhaust. Too loud, I can't hear anything, so we ran the can.
Fine detail.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that at Breakfast Bike.
Yeah, and you know, it used to be in the old days, we're looking for half a second.
Yeah.
You know, we need a half, now we're looking for half. That equates to a decent lap time.
Brief look at the 38 there at Bradley Smith.
I could make something up, but I don't really know.
You've never been there for the party then?
No.
Bautista.
Crashing the race. He's had some good runs this year.
How's he in
good on that
series at the moment? I think he's had too many,
In Le Mans?
In Le Mans.
Yeah, I thought I saw a flash on the screen that he was down.
Actually, looking back, he just didn't make too many friends here when he took Valentino out.
Yeah, no,
And I'll reach for the paperwork just to check on where we are time-wise at the moment. 1:46, 2013.
And they're sitting there right now.
And we're right there already. So that's the race lap record. Qualifying trim.
Well, it's a pretty good sign for Vinales.
Going back to what he said in the press conference on Thursday evening as well, regarding this new most at... as Jorge enlists the help of anybody to give the bike a good old step with it, which is a little worrying considering where he is now.
Where he's already at, exactly. And it's a bike, a lot of rear brake, gets a lot of load, and yeah, that's just something that's going to give him a little bit more, be able to put a little more load on it.
3 wins this year so far. There's Pirro. Gets the, not surprisingly at this stage of the week so far, he could go around here with his eyes shut.
He's the best.
Well, that just underlines what I said a bit earlier about, you know, from the
near what it used to be.
Well, you go back to the so-called good old days, you know, 5 seconds a lap.
Yeah.
You know, if you didn't have a factory motorcycle, you weren't going to be going anywhere.
And you know, nowadays, all you see is the results, but yeah, it's like 1 by 40 across all 3 classes.
I wonder if we're going to get that announcement this weekend for until it's actually revealed that apparently Moto2, the engine supplier from 2019.
So inform me, please inform. I wouldn't know.
Triumph.
Yeah, then that went quiet for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I was surprised to see a massive Triumph warning with lots of PR at Le Mans, but it did. It'll be exciting. It will shake things up. Honda have done a great job. 4-cylinder 600 is used to something a bit more powerful than a Moto2 bike, but I think that their reliability,
you would think
it would stress weaken and fall off.
Well, you would just think they would kind of re-engineer that, and
the same on some. Just gets a bit of frequency going, doesn't it? That's back with you, None. Viñales, I wonder.
Yeah, that's the question. Obviously, had an unbelievable year last year.
I was looking forward to Ian O'Neill. I thought he would do. And it's a close-knit, tight little team. I just wondered whether he would be able to step. But he's gone to Suzuki and said the front end is quite hard to work with.
Yeah.
Viñales isn't. He's obviously a guy that's got a tremendous amount of feel.
And you gotta, you know, he had more wings than anybody at sometimes. So
Jack Miller.
And what about his crash in Le Mans? Unbelievable,
isn't it? Well, and he was on his feet, which is pretty remarkable, really. We all held our breath at that point. And fired him off to the track. That wasn't the...
You know, kind of did the same thing, hit the tire wall a few years back, and you got Marquez here, turns perfect for it to go really wrong, you know?
Funny how these bikes manage to do that.
Yeah, when you're doing 200 miles.
So, now.
Yeah, there are a lot of times you'd rather just take a broken bone.
That's a bruise, yeah, that's fair comment.
Just put some session. It just takes time to heal.
But it does get better every day.
True that. Here. And get a little tank slapper and injure it even worse, so you gotta be careful.
Maverick on top by, well, it's only 2/10 now. Hero has put in a count to where you go for qualifying, whether you, if you finish in the top 10, you go through to qualifying 2. Being an issue here in free practice 1, nobody's going to be out there scratching around trying to get in the top. Here is Johan Zarco. What a revelation, this front straight. Crutchlow stuck in the slipstream with the doctor. Valentino Rossi. I think he's in Moto 3, even in Moto 2.
Yeah,
it all helps.
Yeah, but the lesser horsepower bikes, that's for sure.
My wonder would be, particularly when it was with all the wings, as he has got on so well with the MotoGP bike. When you consider the difference.
Yeah, he's been going fantastic. And you know, a lot of that is just two age kids. It was kind of hard in our day to go from everything. They don't
blink.
Yeah, and just jump on and open it. And
2 situation to MotoGP. Yeah, he got very low.
6/10 off. Or 5. Yeah, not bad for a first session. Home track.
It's not their most successful racetrack either, considering how many laps.
The reason being, obviously, they got the horsepower. The thing just doesn't turn. It doesn't do.
Particularly when you're up in the 220 mile an hour bracket along the front straight, which isn't a straight. The final reckoning into the first corner, San Donato, and you're alongside a motorcycle when you're around another rider or another 2 riders to try and pick out your braking point and get the weight over.
It's one of those corners that you very rarely go to the... What was that on?
Suzuki just in the way.
You know, very last second, and sometimes it works and sometimes you go wide. It just depends on... You get
think about it, says Lorenzo de San. Another lap, but I think right at that point, I mean, it is a 220 mile an hour to that. Yeah, if you've done 120 mile an hour on the road, yeah, here we go, a bit more of it. 120 mile an hour on a road bike or in a road in a little bit of perspective. And when you're rushing up on somebody as Lorenzo was then, with Sam perhaps just on the line you want to be, and buffeted about. As soon as you put your head up from behind the screen, you're getting whacked all over the place.
And on that buffeting, nowadays it's better with the aero design of the helmets.
Yeah, aero, the bikes and obviously a helmet as well. And they're pushing a hole in the air, and suddenly you're getting sucked into it. And there's nothing, it's like involuntary movements. Like an idiot.
Yeah, you just hope it stops. I broke the steering stop off the...
You never look like you get a lot of sunburn, even though you come to Texas. It's a man that lives in... Danny would do anyway on the Yamaha. Marquez is using. Preference.
Yeah.
I wonder. Interesting with the temperature that on the discs as well at the front on the brakes. Yeah, this corner at San Donato, I know I keep banging on about it, but believe me, where we sit, if you go and stand on a crate out the back here and watch it just there, it is, and we're used to it, bullet at the end of there. Anybody that's never seen it before, it is worth just standing at the end of the straight. There's not much else to watch, but just here, turn one, San Donato.
Yeah, I don't go watch anymore.
It's pretty scary.
It's kind of scary.
That's a fact. The Ducatis are up in the 224, 25. Everyone else is around 290. The wings. And what the wings did was keep it down. You remember I was talking early on about the memorial that everyone is walking by. That's parked up down in the paddock here with a quote from Nicky. All our thoughts. Despite the mind.
Yeah, me and my wife replay.
Unfortunately, when you get as old as me, it is something that you can only raise a glass to over the years. But I must say, Nicky has had a profound effect on this paddock. Both when... That's the way you say that. Dolby. I got a Fred, as usual, with Holly and Melissa, two of my girls, and Fred's always pleased to see them, and then he wants to get stuck.
There he goes, up top.
Now, I think it was a question mark for Dobby when he wondered himself how it was going to perform without all that wing on the front.
Yeah, and he didn't sound that confident yesterday. We'll have to wait and see what a race pace is going to look like.
This guy just so incredibly comfortable. Right from the get-go. There's Michele Pirro through... That'll make him smile.
Yeah. Should be happy about that. Back at Zarco here, he's...
The M1 Yamaha surely has got to be the bike.
It's, you know, having ridden this goes well, you can just let go of the brake. On this track, anytime you're confident enough to get in, let go of the platform. If you're on the brakes and trying to get it to turn and you're constantly having to deal with it, the lap time goes out the window. You have a little faith that it's going to stick, and once it sticks, then you take another little bit bigger.
Savan Gantoli leads. Jorge Lorenzo out onto the front straight. A little bit of a wheelie down into turn one. San Donato.
And Jorge, 47.7.
Yeah, he's there, isn't he?
Not...
He'll be looking to get this psychological advantage with 2.5 minutes of this free practice one for MotoGP. Forecast is as it is today. Beautiful all weekend long. Yeah, well, looking at the Isle of Man.
Imagine that. I'm going there Monday, so hopefully
morning for them early morning practices, and then they've been called off. So with the Yamaha, Tito's 53, Tito Rabat. Still Zarco being chased by Dovi, being chased by 53 and Timus in this lap as we come now out of Buccini onto the front straight. See what... Didn't really catch it, did it? Yeah, do you know what? The Honda seems to have picked up the pace a bit, Tom.
And he just reeled off 47.9. Puts himself up in 6th.
Under a minute, that one lap in. And with that, Aprilia allegedly upgrade last year. He's going to get under the flag and get another lap in. Comes to the line. What's that do for him? 13th.
Do that one flying lap on the Aprilia, which, whoa, Bautista.
Hello.
Hello.
Alvaro.
Aprilia, you know, it's been kind of hard to get that one super fast lap in, which is kind of a specialty. You know, the bike seems to come alive after it gets laps on the tire and the fuel goes down.